Welcome Pisces to your February 2025 horoscope forecast. On the screen now is your event chart right at the start of the month. As ever, we need to be mindful of the sun and the moon, but also your ruling planets. You have two, Jupiter, your traditional ruler, and Neptune as well. Now, Jupiter has been retracing its steps for the last 4 months. When Jupiter is in retrograde, it can slow things down. It's said to be the planet of fortune, but it also, through your sign, is very much about ascending to the highest possible version of ourselves from a more spiritual dimension. Being in the fourth house, that can be to do with homes, properties, but also our inner world and anything to do with family. So that may be an area that you've been thinking and reflecting upon in a very powerful way during the retrograde. But Jupiter starts this month in a stunning alliance to the Sun in Aquarius, which can be a bit more detached. It's an air sign, maybe a bit logical, but for you it's house 12. It's a place in the sun's journey when we can pause. You may find yourself, therefore, as you go into this month, as the sun links to Jupiter, actually really learning a lot about what your true and deepest needs are. So it can be a moment of opportunity. And when Jupiter goes direct on the 4th, something that has just been stuck a little bit can be released. And it could be around how you feel about something. Perhaps it's to do with a past connection that's no longer in your life. You may feel particularly nostalgic at the very start of this month. But also, of course, Pluto has moved full time into Aquarius now. And also Mercury's there at the start of the month, suggesting that you may just be a little bit less outgoing and interactive with people as February begins. But what about Neptune, your other ruler? Well, that's forging a magical link to the North Node. Back in your sign, the true North Node, from the 11th of January in America and late on the 10th of January in the UK. Now, the North Node is going to be with you through to the end of July 2026. And it can bring some karmic rewards to you. And its link with Neptune, but also Venus at the start of this month, suggests you shouldn't underestimate, even if you're going through this deep stuff, thinking very carefully about some of your roots, your past history, some people who are no longer with you. You could find yourself being deeply analytical, but that combination gives you a mystique that could draw someone to you in a very powerful way. Also, the moon's in your sign as this month begins, and that can make you a bit more single-minded. It's also very close to stern Saturn, which has been asking you over the last 2 years to strip out of your life anything which is not truly essential, and it may not have always been a particularly easy journey. However, both the moon and Saturn link back to the sun in a very productive semi-sextile. So what you're bringing into your world in terms of your instincts, anything to do with the reflection you're going through, maybe to do with a little bit of chosen isolation, that downtime can actually feed and prime up the parts of your nature which can be very, very creative. And if you're in any way someone who has talents that you want to manifest as the month goes on, you're going to get a huge opportunity to do that. But I think one area that could be more challenging may be around your work, because the Sun and Mercury come into a conjunction, a cazimi on the 9th, which in itself could give you a stunning moment of extra insight, but it may be more to do with the practical dimension of life. And maybe if you haven't been quite as much in touch with other people, that combination can push you to do some practical research, find out information, take soundings, especially if you're working in an environment which you don't feel is very inclusive. or it may be nothing to do with work. It may be the community you live in. It may be a group of friends that you've associated with. It may even be around family life. But in some way or another, if you do feel detached, withdrawn, or cut off from others at the start of this month, see it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to understand your deepest needs in a much more profound way, because on the 4th, firstly, Jupiter goes direct, but also Venus moves out of your sign and into Aries. Technically debilitated, but I can assure you, over the next 28 days or so, your finances can have a really significant upturn. Also, if you did set yourself the target to be a little bit more disciplined around what you ate and drank at the turn of the year with a New Year's resolution, just telling you that Venus could tempt you, because Venus in the second house can certainly make us very appreciative of calorific goodies. But seriously, by the 12th, the full moon occurs across the axis of the moon, house 6, the practical dimension, 12th, the psychological area. And if, especially in a professional environment, there is a rather toxic environment, you're not really sure that you can absolutely rely or trust certain individuals, the fact that Uranus, the planet of surprises, but also the planet of rebellion, is in your 3rd house, which is where it's been pushing you to find your voice since March 2019 full time, that intersects with both the moon and the sun position. Now, full moon is when the sun and the moon are not on good terms. If we think about it, the sun's about thrust, the moon is more about receptiveness. So the moon in Leo can be very proud, the sun in Aquarius very detached, but along comes Uranus to in some way cut in an incisive way, and there could be a major revelation. And it's possible that if you feel someone's being unkind or unfair, particularly from the 14th, when Mercury, the planet of talk and thought, moves into your sign, that you're going to start to feel more confident about saying how you feel. So if you do start this month feeling rather tender, maybe even all the way to vulnerable, do understand that it's helping you to guide you towards what's truly right for you. And that will make more and more sense from the 18th, when the sun absolutely powers into your sign. Your physical vitality will leap. You're also on the 24th having Mars, the planet of thrust, which is in a great location for you all month, but in retrograde until then. That goes direct, but links back to Mercury, finding its feet in your sign. Mercury does align with Saturn in your sign from the 23rd to the 27th. It's possible that you're going to surprise someone with the force of your argument, but also the precision of the way you deliver your message. You have a reputation, rightly or wrongly, as being a dreamer. Certainly can be very, very spiritually inclined, hugely imaginative, and at times you can find yourself daydreaming or caught up in tripping the light fantastic, but that's part of what makes you extremely special. But you're going to find that if someone, as you see it, is dishonest or disloyal or two-faced, or doesn't back you up when you've been very sacrificing to the cause, you're going to find with Mercury, the Sun, and Mars all collaborating so well together in the second half of this month, and then as the month comes to a close, a glorious new moon in your sign, you are going to express yourself with great precision, but you're going to be very penetrative about how you say something. But you could also use quite a lot of enthusiasm and vigor and passion to say how you feel. And whoever thought that perhaps you were someone that maybe they could take for granted, or just assume that you'd always be there in the way you have in the past, is in for a big surprise as this month draws to a close. So if you're in a situation at the start of February, Pisces, that's not working for you, but you're not quite sure what to do, do know by the end of the month, you're going to have a much greater sense of conviction. Your energy will be up. There's going to be more thrust. You won't be spinning around with a sense of uncertainty. I feel that you will gain traction, and it's going to be very exciting, and people are going to coalesce around you, recognizing just what drive but also what talents you've got to share, and that can bring some rewards your way, particularly with Venus's help in that second house of everyday money. I hope you have a great month, Pisces. If you've yet to watch your deep dive forecast for year 2025, please see the link beneath this video. Discover your personal natal horoscope for absolutely free, including the big three of the ascendant, sun and the moon, and the houses they're located in, as well as all the other planetary positions, by downloading your chart by clicking the link underneath this video. Or you can take advantage of my special star choice range, where you buy one horoscope and get the second horoscope free. Please see below for more for that too.